gaslighting.
I wasn't being thrown to the wolves, I was being fed to the wolves.
They were actively recruiting people to disseminate disinformation.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A Different Opinion. I hope everyone's been well. We're going into episode 4 today. I'm so over the show. It's very bad. But we'll get into it. We'll get into the nitty gritty. I'll just keep pointing out the lies and lies that they keep publishing and showing. Obviously, it is just literally one side of the story. So just remember that. Her own family wants to bring out their own side of the story. And then I also hope that like William and Kate can talk about their side of the story. And then I hope everyone can talk about their side of the story. And then we can tell out who's really telling the truth, even though we already know what the truth is. We know that they are making things sound way worse than they are. They're constantly the victims in the show. It's constantly racism against them. It's constantly being attacked by the media. It's constantly, we were forced to do things we didn't even want to do them. And it's like they're trying to break down the institution, as they keep trying to call it in the show. And it's funny how, you know, the show is made by Americans, made by Netflix, paid $100 million. Let's just remember that. It's not like they're doing this just to prove their side of the story. No. They're taking $100 million payday to apparently say their side of the story, right? And it's making the Queen look bad. It's making Diana look bad. It's making everyone look bad that doesn't live with them. It's funny how that happens, right? It's funny how they are just these really, really good people. But everyone else, no, they didn't help us. They attacked us. I can't believe people do this to their own families. Like, talk about their own families like this. Yeah. Now, I did obviously make a lot of notes and stuff. So before we get into the notes and the review, if you do want to help support the channel, if you want to help see the next episode's review, I was going to do all 3 in the one, but I literally can't watch 3 episodes in a row. It's too much. It is just too much to handle. So please subscribe, help support the channel, help me be able to make more videos for you guys as well. Like the video if you liked it, and also, like I always say, please leave your opinions in the comments. Let me know what you think. Now let's get into this one today. So there's a voiceover at the start of the episode, and it's kind of like, you know, they will be a force to be reckoned with, talking about Meghan and Harry. Little did they know that they are not going to do anything good. Literally the opposite. They are trying to destroy the royal family. And I'm just wondering who's backing them, right? Like, isn't it funny how, you know, all these high celebrities and everything in America is backing them up and all this type of stuff? What's really going on there? Like, as we know, it's very political and everything. Are they trying to destroy the monarchy is what I'm wondering. Like, literally, serious question. I'm thinking they're trying to break down the monarchy. And then it also shows kind of their marriage and all that, right? The royal wedding, blah, 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 blah. As boring as it was, they show like David Beckham, and in the last episode they show Selena Williams and all that. But Meghan didn't even invite her own niece. Not even her own family. The only one that they spoke about was her mother. Her mother was there. Funny, right? Let's just forget about my whole side of the family. It's ridiculous. And look, we can't even go like 2 or 3 minutes, like not even a minute in the show without someone bringing up race. Constantly race. She's being like racistly attacked. Even when they're not saying anything racist about it, they actually mean racism. Like, it's funny, like the undertones they keep saying, the undertones. And they might not be saying the words, but we know what they mean. Like, literally, they pointed out parts where they said, you know, she's such a diva for wearing this stuff or whatever. They literally say that that's being racist. Calling someone a diva. How is that racist? Are you freaking kidding me? Like Taylor Swift, for example, and everything, a diva. Is that racist? Like, I mean, she's as pale as anything. She's paler than the Queen in this photo. Let's be real. Now, the next thing they talk about, right, is the Grenfell Tower fires. And they try and bring the fact that there's a lot of immigrants. They try and bring the fact of race into it. So literally a fire which killed people, which was horrible, a disaster. But they try and bring it into the show to show a narrative of racism. How? How can they include this and try to spin it around and make it about race? Like, I mean, dude, the fire didn't choose someone by race. It killed many different races of people. And they try and bring this into the show. Why is it even in the show? What does it have to do with your story? Stop trying to use it to sell your freaking show. It's horrible. Then there's literally parts where they show, like, you know, news stories, articles, the headings or whatever, and they try and show that, oh, the royal family is jealous now because Harry and Meghan, more popular than the Queen? Like, dude, not even freaking close. And why would they even, yet again, spin this narrative? This whole episode is just constantly spinning narratives. Like, they're trying to hit like 400 different narratives instead of just sticking to the one that they should, which is the truth, which there is none of in sight. No matter how far you look, no matter how far and wide, there are zero truths in this. Seriously. Then back to the paparazzi attacking them, back to racism, paparazzi attacking them, blah, 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 blah. And then it comes back down to, you know, all the stories that kind of the media pumped out, right? I mean, a lot of them weren't true. Like, we've got to be real about that most of them weren't true. There are some which are true. But obviously, like media does, it's very surprising, right, that the mainstream media actually lies in stories. Who would ever believe that the media lies? I mean, look what CNN keeps pumping out. Constant lies. I mean, the BBC, the same thing again. And why do they act so surprised? It's funny because they even show Meghan in the show saying, I can't believe people actually believe these things. Wake up. I mean, myths were there since the start of time. There will always be myths. There will always be gossip. There will always be lies that the media portrays. I'm sorry, you're not the first. And you're definitely not going to be the last person who falls victim to us, Meghan. And the thing they show as well is where after they had Archie, right, their child, usually what happens is with the royal family, if there's a birth for a child, they usually come out and show the child after birth for the pictures just to keep the paparazzi, the media happy. And they get their pictures and you go on your merry way and they post all little happy things about it, right? That's a good way for them to probably get the media back on their side. Then what happened? They make this whole bullcrap story up that, oh no, we had to go to a different one because my doctor wasn't there. They couldn't actually block the road off for the media and blah, blah. Just lies. Like, we know they can block off any damn road for the media. That's a stupid joke. Then it shows that they only came in, I think it's 2 days after, where they showed the pictures for the kid. They try to portray it that just because it was 2 days late, that's why the media was angry. It's like, no, you broke tradition. These traditions have been going on for how long? How many different traditions which Meghan constantly tries to break? She doesn't care about the tradition of the royal family. She doesn't care about the royal family at all. Let alone does she care about the British people. Like, seriously, this whole show just portrays you British people as racists. You guys are horrible people. That's literally, if I didn't know Brits, if I lived under a rock and believed everything Harry and Meghan say, I would think British people are some of the worst people in the world, which is totally the opposite. British people are good people, upfront people, and honest. More than I can say for a lot of like people like Meghan, right? Like a lot of kind of the I'm better than people, the nose up, right? Like the I'm the rich, I'm a tall poppy, as we call it in New Zealand, where if you're like a tall poppy, we say, is when you try to stand up above people, think you're better than people. And people don't like that in New Zealand and Australia. We don't. Then shows obviously where they went to South Africa and she did a speech in one of the communities. And they try and make it seem like, oh, it's one of the most dangerous communities. I mean, dude, I drove through there when I was a little kid. We didn't even lock our freaking doors in that neighborhood. Don't act up. And it's not like they got all the security and everything like that with them as well. And the worst thing is they try to make this speech seem so heartfelt and everything that she spoke to the people because she says, you know, I'm also a woman of color. The worst thing that they do is she's just reading it off a piece of paper, word for word. There's no free talking. It's just her reading this speech, which was written about for her and trying to make like she's connecting to all people around her who have to deal with horrible stuff every day, who don't just get a meal handed to them, who don't just get to fly on planes constantly. For a lot of those people in those communities, they might not have a next meal. And then the photos that they show of the politicians that are kissing Archie, right, back then, are now being put up on trial. How much money did Charles have to give to Harry? How much like of the estate do they get just handed to them? And even though they don't do the work for it, it's ridiculous. And yeah, I'm like so totally over the show, just constantly pushing the narrative of the media, the paparazzi. Oh, we're being portrayed so badly. We're being attacked constantly. We can't have a life, blah, 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 blah. Living in their $7-8 million, oh, whatever the heck it is, over $10 million house in California or Canada, wherever the heck they have these houses. It's so tough. It's so tough. Oh no. I'm sick of them, seriously. I'll be watching the next episode tomorrow. And I'll post the review for you guys there as well. Yeah, I can only handle 40 minutes at a time. Only 40 minutes at a time. If you did like the video, please subscribe. You will be able to see the next videos that I pop up as well. And I don't just obviously do just the royal family constantly. There's different stories that I find interesting we'll talk about as well. And hopefully, you know, once the channel grows a bit, I'll be able to do more videos per day, maybe 3 or 4, and I'll be able to talk about a bigger range of stories as well. Like the video if you liked it, and also please comment and let me know what you think. Thank you for watching.